Yes, it's your fault. As well.
It is.
It's 1 o'clock.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Northwest Bourbon Distiller's Perspective. I still have a thing open because I can hear myself. Hold on. Oh, goodness. I still have the volume on my YouTube over here. Sorry. I've got two screens going on, and they confused me because there's more than one. All right, so welcome you guys to another great episode here on the Late Night Thursday show. If you are up and drinking whiskey, make sure you got some water with you. You want to make sure you're drinking more water than you're drinking whiskey, right? So there's a lot of people already jumping on. I am posting the link because you guys know how we do it here. Today we have a special guest. We have Austin and Ashley from the Distillarium, and a little side note. Austin was our first interview on YouTube, and if you go back and watch that first video, you'll hear him say that he was on his first interview. Well, it was our first interview as well, and that was almost exactly 2 years ago. This month it was like 764 days or something, but nobody's counting. I'm gonna welcome Ashley and Austin onto the show. Hey guys.
Hey.
It is good to see you guys. Ashley, great to meet you. Austin, welcome back. First off, I want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much for being here and agreeing to be on the show, because your guy, even though you're here in Washington State, you guys are kind of still on the East Coast time. You want to start out by telling us about like how you guys met or and what you guys just did. And I'm going to crack open some of your bourbon just to get my palate warmed up before we get to
Cheers.
All right. Yeah, well, take it away.
So we are still on the time crunch, or whatever you want to call it, still adapting to the time change because we just got married in Alabama, and we spent a little over a week down there. Thank you. And we never got any sleep the whole time we were there. Every night we went to bed at we tried to go to bed at 10, and then we'd lay awake talking, and we didn't get any sleep. We had to be up early every day the next morning and crunch for the wedding. And so we're getting back in the groove now, though.
Yeah, we're just getting caught up on sleep. So you have us as refreshed as we're gonna be.
Yeah.
Good. So your biological clock still thinks it's midnight right now.
I don't know
a little
what
bit, or whatever time
my
I could possibly...
biological clock thinks it is right now. That's what we were joking about. I don't even know what my clock is set to anymore.
Whiskey.
So you guys, did you guys meet up here in Washington, or how did that work?
Well, we met in Montana. He made his way from Alabama up there. Don't ask me how, but great meeting by chance up there. And then he was looking for another distilling job and fell upon this one, and I couldn't help but follow him out here.
Oh. And so you went back to Alabama to get married.
Yes.
That's where you're from.
I've got a lot of family down there, and I grew up down on the Gulf Coast, and so it just made sense to do it somewhere down there where I guess all of my family could come more with less effort.
Yes. And it's beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Close to the beach, big, beautiful oak trees. That's what she wanted to get married under, is the big, beautiful live oaks that the South Alabama is famous for. And so that's exactly what we did.
That is awesome.
There's some great whiskey with friends. So
absolutely.
And what are your guys' perspective, your roles in the Distillarium?
Well, he's the master.
So everything you see behind me, I am in charge of running and operating and producing with. I'm the production guy, master distiller, head distiller, whatever you want to call it. I make sure everything over here, everything that goes into the bottle tastes good and looks good and smells good. And that's about as far as I go. I get to have a little opinion lending on everything else, the labels and the bottles, but not much more than that. I just make sure everything tastes good, make sure everything goes out the door like it's supposed to, comes in like it's supposed to, and
I just make sure that it's all legal, and I do all the boring stuff. But someone's got to do the job, right?
She does a lot more than just the boring stuff. She's put together quite a few beautiful labels that I would have never thought that we were capable of doing that, and she did it all by herself 100%. And we did a label company or a designer company, and so I'll have to get her to show that off before we sign off.
Okay, I'll write that down. Her label designs,
mostly on our latest releases. So.
It's a couple of our new Cask strength lines.
Okay,
three of those.
I wrote that down. So if the question doesn't get asked, then we'll make sure at the end we'll get to that, because there's one part that I didn't really brief you guys on that is part of the fun for me. We weren't doing this game back when we had you on, Austin, because we didn't know what we were doing. So the whole point of doing this live, it seemed to make sense to me to include the audience more. When you guys are looking at your screens, you guys see on the right side, there's a private chat comments section. But if you push on comments instead of private, you can see all the people that are joining us live.
Cool.
Awesome. So I'm going to just say hi to some of the people that are here live. Mr. Jiggs is in the house. William Hall is here. Good to see you. Artichoke. Epic intro. Thanks, Artichoke. Cheech is in the house. Tracy Peterson's here. John's here. Tony's here. Whiskey Edition. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, buddy. Jay Sells, how you doing, buddy? Ben from the North, our buddy in Canada. How you doing, bud? The Bourbon Baller Lee. Glad you were able to make it, Lee. B. Bowers here. Piper John is here. Congrats. Yes, awesome. So the game that I was referring to is called the Revolving Door of Questions. Now, what I'm going to do is I have already pinned the link to join us on screen. I've already pinned that to the top of the chat. So everybody watching us live can see that there's a link they can click on. If they come on stage and ask you a question, they will get entered into the raffle to win samples at the end of the show. All they have to do is jump on and ask a question. And I've got your 3 new Cask strength variations, your bourbon, your rye, and your Triticale, all 116 proof. I'm really looking forward to getting into these in a little bit. But if you jump on and ask a question for Ashley and Austin about the Distillarium, then you're going to get put into the raffle for you to win samples of all 3 of those bottles.
Very cool.
Also, the game is called the Revolving Door of Questions because as soon as they ask their question, I'm going to kick them right out, or else we're going to start ending up talking about what kind of dog they have or what kind of car they drive. We want to have the conversation stay focused on you guys. I'm sure you guys know, working in a distillery, when people come in and start chatting about whiskey, the conversations can get quite long, and I want to keep it focused. I want to keep it focused on you guys, even though that's one of the best parts.
No, I hear you.
Right. All right, so I'm going to give you guys that are watching live a few minutes to get into the backstage to come hang out with us. Side Action Gaming's in the house. What's up, dude? Whiskey Edition's here. William Hall. Heck yeah. Oh, Big Cat's in the house. What's up, Mojo? Good to see you. Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, it is free tonight to do. And you can share it for free as well. We did some hoop jumping to make that happen for you guys, but we're here for you. David Bass is in the house. Whiskey Uncensored. What's going on, Ben? How are you doing?
Uncensored.
Good to see you. Great to see you guys. So cheers to you guys. This is just your regular straight bourbon. It is the 4-year. Yeah, this is the 4-year variant that I got from you guys.
Awesome.
So this is my first drink of whiskey for the night. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness. Are you guys drinking the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm driving. So
She's not. I am.
Gotcha. You guys rock, paper, scissors for that? See who's driving?
Frequently, yes.
Like I said, I've got some questions written down that I wanted to ask, but I'm not going to burn them for the audience members. I'm going to let some people come on. and hang out and just chat whiskey about with you guys in the Distillarium and let the audience ask their questions. And I have a wheel of names already pulled up over here that I was messing with that when my audio started going at the beginning. So that was my bad. I had the wrong screen open because I was getting the wheel ready. But Z-Man's back. He was the first one back there. You ready, Z-Man? What's going on, buddy?
How you doing, guys? Good to see you in here.
Absolutely.
So I actually got just two quick questions.
Okay.
You guys are in Washington State, or where you at?
Yes, sir. We're in Washington State, Yakima.
And how long have you been distilling?
We've been distilling for 7 years now here.
Oh shit! All right. Yeah.
Solid.
All right, then.
Solid, straightforward softball pitch questions, Z-Man. I appreciate it.
All right. So
Those are great questions that I didn't even have written down, but I'm glad you thought of them.
yeah, I'm just curious, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, Z-Man, I'm going to put you on the wheel.
Right on.
Got more people jumping in. Possum Crew's in the house. Good to see you. The Bourbon Syndicate. What's up? What's up? Quantum Trek. How's it going? Good to see you. Mary Allen.
Far from as far away from as can
Sipping
be.
Cask and Spin right now.
Good choice.
So he has already got one of your good bottles.
Hell yeah.
Possum Crew, good to see you. Whiskey Edition, good to see you. Marvin, Whiskey 1101, you better get on here and ask a question, Marvin. I tell you what. John Cloud. I'm sorry not to click on my... But you already forewarned you're uncensored, Ben. You're fine. It's allowed. Cheers. TroyMan's in the house. Good to see you. Any chance of you sourcing a cognac or armagnac barrels for your cask strength whiskey? Great question. So I'm gonna write down that we're gonna ask about the finishes.
Good, because
Good.
I would like to talk about it.
Yeah, and if Lee wants to jump on, he can get in the raffle. And if he doesn't jump on to ask that question, I'll make sure to get to it later. Rob, you ready, bud? All right, next one in the backstage with Rob from Whiskey Edition.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, good evening. I don't know which screen. I've got you on two screens like Marc does, so I don't know where the hell to look right now. Hey,
We're getting old. It's fine.
I didn't have a question until we started talking about the Alabama Slammer wedding thing that was going on there, and somebody else already took the question, so I got a different question. Is when you mentioned the oak trees, will you be cutting one of those down to make barrels for your wedding edition?
Oh no, sir! They're too precious.
I wouldn't even dare. Some of them were 300 years old and got more stories to tell than I could imagine. They make the wedding venue quite a lot of money, and they look really pretty.
Yeah.
But I did experiment after the hurricanes a few times when we were cleaning up oak trees from the yard when I was a young moonshiner, with taking rounds out of them, baking them in the oven, and putting them in my moonshine jars.
Of course you did.
Well, and that brings up a good point, because I think from what I've seen with the oak starting to get a little overused now and a little more sparse, probably more expensive, people going to, special stainless steel casks that they can put the staves into and kind of mix them around. I don't know if that's any kind of a road you guys are going down, but it seems
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not until we run out of barrels, or they won't give us barrels anymore.
Right. Well, hey, I've got the Triticale.
Hey,
and,
that's a personal favorite. I'm glad you have it. Hope you like it. Thanks
I
for
do.
supporting us.
very much.
So
Thanks, Marc.
Rob, were you asking where they're sourcing their barrels from?
No, I thought they were gonna, lop down one of those wedding trees and make their own barrel out of it.
I was being half serious.
I'll reach out to the lady and tell her, let me know when one of the big limbs falls off in a hurricane.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, well, especially on the one that you carved your, your heart name and initials into.
All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great. All
I
right.
hope to get over there to visit you guys one of these days.
Hey,
Yes,
make
please
sure to
do.
request a tour when you do.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Rob's just north of me a little bit in Seattle.
That's right.
Perfect. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and my two chins that you can see here in Seattle.
All right, hey, Rob.
the angle.
Rob, I'll get you on the wheel, buddy.
Have
All
a
right,
good
cheers. All right, you guys ready for another one?
Yeah.
one. Sure.
All right. Hey, next one back there was Uncle Trey from the Three Drunk Uncles. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Austin, good to speak to you again, man.
Good to see you. Long
Hey.
time no see.
Yeah. Hey, so I know this is a bourbon show, but as a member of the Three Drunk Uncles, I got to bring up the brandy, man. We loved the brandy when we had it on the show. And what's new in the brandy world? Like, are you guys going to do anything different?
Well, brandy is about 6 years old now, so I think we're gonna have to come up with another label and spice up a little bit.
We've also got some finishes we're working on,
do.
some brandy finishing and some different barrels that we're going to see how that turns out.
You'll be the
That's
first.
nice. Yeah, we look forward to that, man. We love the first one that we did from you guys, and we want more for sure.
Heck yeah. Get in touch with me, and I'll once I get into these, like I said, I got some finishes. We did 10 or 15 brandy barrel finishes, and I did bourbon barrel finishes as well. And I'll definitely let you know how those turn out.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
All right, Uncle Trey, I'm gonna put you on the wheel, brother. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's late for you, but I appreciate you being here, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll get you on there. Cheers. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you talked about aging brandy in different barrels. Have you aged any of your whiskey in one of your brandy barrels?
We are.
That's kind of
yes.
the question that you wrote down or whatever, or one of them. Basically, we have done a swap of the bourbon and the brandy. We took 10 or 15 of the bourbon barrels and 10 or 15 of the brandy barrels and basically swapped places with them. And
dude, that is 100% what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why
And I
not?
had a few different brandy barrels. When I just say brandy barrels, it wasn't I had Hungarian oak, French oak of different barrel tightnesses and not chars, but toasted brandy. And then on the brandy going into bourbon barrels, I had number 4 char and number 3 char. So there's a few different bourbon and brandy barrels profiles as well.
Okay. Is it available at Total Wines? Yes. I have seen Distillarium at Total Wine, but Tony, if I remember right, you live in the South or something, right? You're not in the Pacific Northwest.
We're working on that.
We
right.
can order stuff online now.
Right. So all you guys watching right now, even if you're watching the replay, I have already put in the video description the link to their website and the link to their Instagram. But you can click on the video, click on the description, and see a link that goes right to their website, and you can go there and see if they ship to your state.
Cool.
And yes, we do ship to Arizona.
Oh, nice.
Yes, online.
All right, so Bourbon Barley, any chance you're sourcing any cognac or Armagnac barrels for your cask strength? He said he's got somebody that's offering and he's interested in trying. So Bourbon Barley, I might have to give Austin your contact info, or vice versa. I'll give you Austin's contact info, and you guys can chat. It sounds like you guys can actually chat offline about doing some deals. Bourbon Barley is a good friend of mine. He's up in Sammamish. He runs a liquor store. Great dude.
Perfect.
Cool. I love
so he's got a lot of connections in the industry and stuff like that. Rusty, you ready, bud? All right. I just drank water, so all you guys out there, if you're not drinking water, drink some water. It's fun. It's good for you too.
Cheers from Alabama.
That's not a Waffle House, is it?
Yeah, it's my own personal Waffle House. It's scattered, smothered, and covered. Yeah.
Oh,
I like the background.
That's nice.
That's
That's
the
a good
sickest
one.
background I've seen yet.
Is there like a research and development like ongoing of like different mash bills, and what does that entail? Like, do you just come up with, hey, we want to do 55% corn and whatever, and what, I mean, much of
I
that?
come up with them based on inspiration from things that I like. And so I'll mirror something that has been done that I really liked and then tweak it a little bit so that it's my own, maybe add something to it to give it a new flavor or something so that I can say that it's my own. But
Right.
for the most part, I'm trying to mimic what's been successful and that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So you are online. Y'all are selling online. Now, I know you can't ship to Alabama, but I can cheat and I can get it sent to Georgia.
We can ship to Alabama.
You can?
Yes, we can. Direct to consumer on our website.
Dang. Okay.
Nope. Like
Right
it.
now, isn't
The
there,
internet's a beautiful place.
isn't there 2 bottles free shipping or something?
Yeah, so if you buy 2 bottles online right now, you get free shipping. So mix and match. If you just like one of them, get 2. Take advantage of it.
I
Yeah.
am. I'm going to.
Right on.
Awesome.
Heck
Hey, Rusty, thanks for dropping by, buddy. I already put your name on the wheel. Great question to ask about the mash bill and how that inspiration comes. Because that kind of goes on to a different kind of conversation. There's some craft distilleries that I visited around here because Washington State's got a lot of craft distilleries, and I try to go to as many of them as I can and learn because they're all so different. There's some of them that have like one thing they make, and they make it really well, and they do different things with that one thing. And there's other craft distilleries that I go to that have like 25 different things in the bar. They have 8 different whiskeys and 12 different mash bills or whatever. And you're just like, what made you go that direction instead of this direction? And how is that working out for you? Like, is it really like profitable for you to make, 18 different things so you can have something for everybody, as opposed to making one thing and making it really well so the people that like it, they love it?
Well, I think that, sticking kind of true to, somewhat of your style of mash bill and then playing around with different finishes, different proofs in the end, doing a little bit of the Solera game can change it all too, and do those little differences that everyone can enjoy. And we've had a lot of success with that.
In the beginning, I learned I can get 3-4 different flavors out of one same exact mash bill. There's so many variables that go into it, how fast you cook it, what enzymes you use to convert the starches, whether you use malted barley or enzymes. I even learned that the biggest factor of controlling like the flavor, I mean, we're all these different flavors I'm talking coming out of the exact same mash bill. It was the grind on the corn. You don't want to grind the corn too much because you get way too much flavor out of it, and it's like overpowering and corny or something.
No, I know exactly what you mean, because I've had some local craft whiskeys that taste like you're eating not ripe yet raw corn. You can taste that flavor in there, and it's not appealing. You talk about how quickly you add the water. I know there's some
modification.
Yeah, from adding the water too fast, it starts tasting soapy.
It's the pH of the water, so many different things. We have reverse osmosis over here, and I can bleed back some of the impurities into it, so I can go all the way from 0 ppm up to whatever it started with, and we pick a number for each one of the spirits that we blend based on what experts and consultants and books and YouTube videos have decided is probably the right number.
So have y'all ever, I've been toying with the idea of bottle finishing my own thing. Like if I wanted to buy a piece of ambarana and stick it in a bottle of something else, like what would that, has anybody done that? I don't even know. Like I got, buy a cheap bottle of something and stick a tiny piece of ambarana in the bottle and let it set for 4 or 5 days or 3 days.
Yes.
A gentleman came in here and told me how that was going to be the next best thing, and I needed to get my hands on some of that wood. I believe he brought me a little sample of something that he had done exactly what you just said too, and he was bragging that exact story. And I smelled it. It smelled incredible. It tasted very unique and interesting. way better than whatever he had said it was, like a $15 bottle of whiskey or something.
Right.
Oh,
So I guess I witnessed proof of that, and I need to look into it a little bit more myself.
Yeah, that's what I've been toying around the idea. That I had the wife, she was looking up, she found some ambarana spirals, and I thought, if we could break off a little piece, you'd have to experiment with it. Like you don't,
Yeah.
because ambarana is supposed to be really, really powerful. So, like
Right.
just a little piece, drop it in the bottle, leave it for a couple of days and taste it. I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I need to get my hands on some.
Yeah, there's spirals and staves that you can get on Amazon that the longer you leave them in there, the more flavorful it gets. And the worse it gets, the longer you leave it in there. Because
Right.
it gets to like a peak, then it starts becoming too much.
That's
Where
just
it's
like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinnamon, you only put in there a stick for like a day or something, a few days.
Yeah, the cinnamon sticks, same thing. It starts turning from a nice apple pie brown cinnamon to like I'm drinking a red hot, and that's like an atomic
Absolutely.
fireball. And that's not fun.
And
No.
that scales up. That what we just talked about, it scales up. I made a small cinnamon recipe, 1 stick per bottle. It was amazing. Then I did the math, weighed the stick, scaled that up to a 350-gallon tote, and did the same amount of days. And I made red hot, like you said.
Yeah. It's serious red hot.
So some recipes you scale them up, and you have to shave days off of the. Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine took regular Jack Daniel's number 7 and stuck a piece of cinnamon in it and let it set for a couple of days. And he said it's amazing. He said it's really, really
Couple of
good.
days.
Yep, that's a couple of days, and only need 1 cinnamon stick.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Rusty, I've got your name on the wheel, buddy. I'm gonna kick you off. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Like-
whatever. That's his thing. All right, so a little quiet between the storm. Now, the order of March with your cast strength, guys, you've got these 116 proof, like I said, the bourbon, the Triticale, and the whiskey. I was thinking about starting with the bourbon and then going to the Triticale, then going to the rye. Is that what order of March you recommend when people come in to try them at the distillery, or would you recommend a different order?
I'd probably go rye,
Mhm.
bourbon, Triticale.
That's what everybody's
Literally.
been doing.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd probably go rye, bourbon, then Triticale.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought rye would be last because I would figure that would be the spiciest one.
Well, I mean, you might be surprised.
I will be right back. I'm gonna hit the restroom.
All right.
Well, I am going to do a fresh crack of this rye with you guys. While he's gone, this is the cast strength, 116 proof. It's got No Man's Whiskey, which is the name of the horse, correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ellensburg locals, David and Terry Stroud are the owners of that horse that actually currently stands in Oklahoma. He's a reining horse, and he's
Time out. A reaming horse?
reining. So
Reining.
like the show Yellowstone, when they're all looking at horses that are doing those sliding stops and all those cool fancy moves. Well, that's the sport of reining. And this horse has actually competed in one of the most prestigious competitions for that, and the Run for the Million. And so it's actually a pretty cool thing. And that horse is awesome, obviously. And with a name like No Man's Whiskey, it kind of was just a match made in heaven. And pretty easy to name your whiskey No Man's Whiskey. Sounds pretty tough.
All right, so the one I have says it's bottle number 215, 116 proof, out of batch 3.
Yes.
So you're on the 3rd batch of the rye, but the Triticale and the bourbon that I have are both batch 1. Is that where they're still standing?
So we actually released the rye, the No Man's Whiskey first, and then followed shortly thereafter by the bourbon and the Triticale, which came out, I believe, in, December and January. So No Man's back in, I think, October, and then we couldn't help ourselves. Had to get those other 2 out there.
I'm glad you did. So Troy from Baker Drinks is here. Troy, if you're still up, I'd love for you to jump on and ask a question. I'd love to hear what you would ask. Tony confirmed he is in Arizona. Yes. So whatever, Moscatel brandy was one. Oh, okay, right on. Lady Goat, just wanted to say I tried the Triticale a while back, and it was
Hell yeah. Thank you.
He's like frozen.
Well,
Oh no.
Mark froze up.
Well, we can see if there's any questions that we can answer.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I froze up for a second. Apologize.
To leave the show.
Yeah, we got you back.
Oh man, Distillarium has an offering.
We do have an eau de vie,
Oh wow.
but you'll have to come to Yakima to try that one.
Bentley's in the house. What's up, Bentley? Excellent A, maybe. Good to see you, Joker. Do you ship to Tennessee?
Yes, I believe so. I think there are 5 states we can't ship to. And I believe it's Alaska, Hawaii, Massachusetts, South Dakota, and maybe Utah.
Wasn't there one that had to do with the horse riding?
No, it got changed, so we
Okay.
can go to Oklahoma now. So yes, Tennessee,
Oh.
we're good to go.
Right on. So Troy from Baker Drinks, sounds like he's going to bed. I was hoping he'd come on. It seems like some bigger distilleries are transitioning to international standard 700 milliliters bottle. Do you think that will hit the craft scene too?
I think that, well, we've already had those discussions, as much as it breaks my heart to think about that work, all for the sake of 50 milliliters. But it's definitely something that we've talked about. And
It's already open, right? Or is it not?
So it is on the table.
It is on the table. It's on the table for discussion. And yeah, we'll see. But if we want to do anything international, then yes, we will have to transition to that.
I mean, for their beer selects water depending on what they're trying to mimic. Oh, so they'd switch their water, right? I want a 375. Age is not always good. Yeah, sometimes you can overdo it for sure. For sure. Build more shelves. If you need more room, build more shelves. Best finish time is 0 minutes. Yes, there's a lot of whiskey enthusiasts out there that when the ambarana finish wave went through, it came through hot and heavy, and a lot of them got worn out by it very quickly because it's very strong and it's very hit and miss. You know, it's either you love it or you hate it kind of a thing. And yeah, there's a lot of people that I've talked to that have had their share of ambaranas and they're done with them and swore them off.
I guess I missed the wave completely. I
Oh,
feel
really?
bad. A guy brought it in, like I said, and tried to convince me on it, but it was too untraditional for me, and I don't think ISC makes any barrels with heads like that or whatever. And it's not that I'm against staves or spirals. It's just that I don't see how it applies here or how we would use it here yet.
Right.
Maybe in the future I want to soak some staves in honey or do something like Garrison Brothers has done. I don't know. Maybe not quite like that, but I just don't see how staves fit into our program. We've done a lot of stuff with barrels, and we even tried to get some barrels with grooves cut in the heads of in both of the heads. And I don't even know if that's worth it. I'm just pretty traditional barrel guy.
Yep. No, I totally get that. I'm about to try your new rye, the No Man's Whiskey cast strength rye. I'm going to try this for the first time with you guys live. So we'll see how that goes. Cheers.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
There was a lot of sweetness up front that I wasn't expecting. That does not have a lot of off-putting rice spices in the back. They're fitting. They're pleasant. The mouth coat is excellent. I really enjoyed that first sip. TroyMan's been waiting in the background for a while, so I'm going to bring him on, and we'll talk more about that.
Whoa, my background's blurry. Hello. I wasn't expecting that. There's nothing hiding in the background. It's just my office. So a couple questions for you. First is, it's been 2 years since you're on with Marc. Is there anything you're doing now that you didn't think you would be doing 2 years ago?
Ooh, good question.
Oh.
I know. I bring
Gosh, well,
bring the heat here.
Yeah, you really brought the heat.
Everything we're doing, we didn't think we'd be doing, but I guess that's a good answer. I didn't think we'd be shipping to as many states as we are, and had that opportunity. That came
That's true. That's true.
I didn't think that we would have a distributor and that it would take forever to get one.
I didn't think that we'd be down in Texas being able to sell down there and doing barrel picks. So
that's pretty
all
cool.
good news. All good, exciting stuff.
I didn't think that we'd have the momentum that we have.
Yeah.
Or I didn't expect it to come on as quick as it did, I guess.
And I will tell you, I am a bad consumer because I've only got one bottle of yours. But
we appreciate that.
Yes.
I will, and I've had it since the last time I was talking with Marc with you guys a couple years ago. But I will be going through Yakima on Saturday, and I'm going to swing by the tasting room, and I want you to just give me a quick briefing of what to expect when I get there.
Probably complete chaos because our bar manager is doing lemon drop Saturdays now, and the ladies love it. But
I like
you shoot us a message, request a tour, maybe we can, Austin and I can come down and give you a tour and meet up with you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm on the site. I was like, well, I could order it from the site, or I'm going to be there on Saturday, so I'll just be there on Saturday.
Well, I love giving the tour. We talked about
try to come in the evening.
How long talking shop can be in the distillery. The tour can take 5 minutes, or it can take an hour and a half. Depends on how much shop we're talking.
Either one.
Yep,
that's true. All right, cool.
All right, well, TroyMan, are you going to be at Lee's on Saturday?
That's why I'm going through Yakima on Saturday.
Yes. All right, so I'm bringing your stuff. TroyMan, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming on the show. I always appreciate your questions, man. And you are on the wheel, my friend.
And I'll see you Saturday.
Word.
Right on.
Cheers.
Oh, good stuff. All right, so the baking spices in the back of the rye are really nice. I always get off-put by a rye that gives me too much mint or dill, which those two are kind of in the same place in your tongue. And I'm glad that you're not bringing a lot of this. It starts off dark and sweet, like a high rye bourbon or something. I'm digging the cask strength rye so far. A lot more than I thought I would.
Cool.
Nice. So William Hall was the next one in the backstage. You ready, buddy?
I am.
All the way from Indiana. It's William Hall.
Cool.
Good evening. And first off, congrats on the marriage.
Hey, thank you. Yeah.
And roll tide.
Roll tide.
Well, I've got a couple questions here. How's Alabama going to favor without Saban? Come on.
Don't ask me. Next question. Yeah, good one.
All right.
Well, I honestly don't know. I've been tuned out since I heard that, and I asked my friends to let me know in like a third party.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for them that they can keep up the recruiting and go forward. But so my question is a little more on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
This is a question for both of you. What is your absolutely most unfavored, the job you regret doing the most on a day-to-day basis?
Like a job that I regretted the most, or the job here?
Part of our job.
Part of our job here that we regret the most. Oh, that's easy now.
What?
You go ahead.
What?
I don't like putting stickers on labels.
Oh gosh. Okay,
or
fine.
writing hand things on labels like bottle number and batch numbers.
I don't know why he's complaining. I write all those.
No, I think
I'd bust concrete up with a sledgehammer than write labels on bottles.
Yeah, well,
I think that is a solid only
answer.
in the craft distillery lane would you know that.
Tedious
That's
little things like that are repetitive, and putting a sticker on 1,000 bottles, a little neck sticker. As for the birds, I'd rather fill the bottles up than I would put the stickers on them.
Yeah, but here we are, and doesn't kill you, just makes you stronger.
I love it. I love it. So what's yours, Ashley?
What's that?
What's yours?
Well, I mean, he literally took mine. Since that you don't do that part, you took mine, so you have to come up with a new one.
Oh, My new one would be plowing snow here. I don't know.
Being Mr. Fix-It for everything, maybe.
I like that. That's
Oh, yeah,
job
true.
security.
You like that.
But I like a good challenge. But no, plowing snow sucks. I got a little plow and a little it's not very wide.
Oh, it could be worse then. Sounds like we got it pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So one more personal question before I go. And Mark
Sure.
kicks me out because he's that, Army schedule guy. Who approached who first when you met?
Oh,
That's a good question.
God, I don't remember.
She
Just kidding.
she was out on her birthday, which apparently was rare, and she lived on a fruit orchard, and there was a bunch of fruit, cherries and apples and stuff, and I guess she had cored them and pitted them and put them in freezers. And my friends and I were out tearing up the town, and they must have known her, and they said, "Hey, that girl down there, she's got a bunch of fruit and she was talking about making wine. You should go tell her that making moonshine's a better idea and go see how it works." And I did, and
It wasn't as glamorous as this, but it worked.
we hung out with all the friends, and that night we introduced each other. She gave me her phone number. I hit her up 2 weeks later and shot some lines out, and we went on a few dates and been hanging out ever since.
So you're saying you got game?
What'd you say?
You're saying you got game?
It worked on her.
He has a pretty good accent. It's not as thick anymore, but
it's definitely
definitely worked on me.
Well, congratulations, and seriously, that's it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Moonshine brought us together, and we now make it for a living. So
yep.
that is adorable. I'm drinking to that.
Heck yeah.
Cheers.
Love it. William Hall, thank you. I have put you on the wheel, my friend. Great questions. Totally out of left field, and I loved them. Loved them. Good job, man.
Have a good night.
I'll catch you later.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. All right, I've got Marc in the back, spelled with a C. You ready to go, buddy? I'm assuming that was a yes.
Yeah, that was a yes.
Hey.
Hello.
Tech Time Radio. What's
there
happening?
we go. I'm drinking this tonight.
Hell yeah.
All right.
One of my most exciting finds of the year. So I really
And now
glad to hear it.
Now, is that the Triticale?
That is. You got to get to that one, Mark. That one.
That is the next
so,
on my list.
so
That's
fun.
what I'm doing right now. Can you see the script from there? All right, I'm going to pour this. You go ahead and ask your question, sir.
I just got two quick questions. So we have a big discussion in my whiskey group. Is it Triticale, or something different?
It's however you want to pronounce it, right?
No.
Fine.
The farmer gets on me when I say Triticale the first 2 years and said, "Austin, it's Triticale." And I take the farmer's word for it. He grows it. And so that's as far as I know.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up. And then number two
sir.
was, how and why did you stumble across this unique grain? It's delicious. I get that spice, rye hit right away, and then it just ends in that beautiful sweetness at the end.
Yep.
Well, that's a good question. At the time when we were starting out, I was looking for grains that were of good quality, not just, dirty seed mill grains. I wanted something that like bread makers were buying or something like that. And a local farmer that I'm now good friends with had Triticale and rye, and he basically gave me a ton of the Triticale to try out, and I fell in love with it. And I'm also kind of I have a bias toward I have affinity towards novel things, new things, and different things. And the Triticale is all of that, or at least it was when we got started. Now there's quite a few people making it, but yeah, I like it because it's a novel whiskey, and it kind of speaks for itself in that aspect. People ask about it. What's this? I haven't heard of it. So it's a conversation starter, I guess.
All right, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like you said, it's a little bit of a novelty, but it's just not a weird out there. It is delicious. It is my go-to one. I mean, I was just out there last month. I'm already halfway through the bottle.
Absolutely. Well,
absolutely delicious.
The Triticale is a personal favorite because obviously I took a risk on it. No one had heard about it when I started making whiskey out of it, and it wasn't the easiest sell to the powers that be. And now it sells itself, so it worked out in the end.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks, Mark, and I will see you Saturday. I'm gonna be there.
Yep. Mark, thanks for coming on, asking a great question. When Austin was on the show 2 years ago, that's one of the questions I had for him is tell me about how to pronounce Triticale and what is it? And so like we looked it up and found out where it originated from in Europe, and that it's kind of like a mix when Austin was talking about working with it, that rye is very sticky and difficult to work with. And but you want some of the flavors that it gives, that it has some of the characteristics from wheat and from rye, like almost a crossbreed between the two. And so you get some of the great wheat and rye flavors without the difficulty to work with, is what we talked about 2 years ago. And so, I mean, totally good question, Mark.
Yeah,
and
I gotta go back and watch that episode. I did not see that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that on the wheel there, or I'm gonna throw your name on the wheel. How about that?
Appreciate it. All right, well, I appreciate it, Austin and Isabel. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
All right, thanks for coming on, Mark. Let's see. Who did we miss? I know we missed a few. I just bought a bottle. Excited to try it. Right on. Sounds good. Can't you just fill it less? Oh, when he was talking about
fill what less?
I'm thinking about the 700 milliliter bottles.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
right.
be nice?
That would be nice.
Just ordered the single barrel and the straight Triticale. Right on, Tony.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Thank
Hey,
you.
you gotta give me some feedback, Tony, when you get them. I'm excited to hear what you think. We're the Midwesterners of Europe with a grain interested in this Triticale. Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. What stores in Texas have picked y'all up?
So we have gotten, we just did a barrel pick with Liquor Depot down there, and then Longhorn Liquor is actually the retailer that's shipping our spirits online for us down there, and it's fairly new, so we're still working on getting some bigger names, and hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay, right on.
Go tell your liquor store you want
it. Let's see what else is going on here. Looked up Yakima. I've been from north. He's up in Canada. He just looked up Yakima and he said it looks like a cool landscape. Yes. Eastern Washington is much different than northern or western Washington.
100%. But it is it's interesting. We found a way to, get used to it. We go and like conquer all those hills now and appreciate the beauty.
When I got here, I couldn't stand it. I was so far from my norm. Winters. I mean, the winters aren't as bad as they were in Montana, but there wasn't. Your plants die if you don't water them for like one day, and it is a desert.
Yeah.
But we find rocks now. We've got some gold claims we go up to and pick minerals off of.
Oh, cool.
We get petrified wood and put it on Etsy and geodes and try and make a little side hustle cash. And we have fun doing it. We're going up Saturday to one of our claims, the first time this year. So
okay.
Wish us luck.
That's fun. It wouldn't happen to be west by northwest of you, would it? Because on Saturday, the Bourbon Baller's holding a raffle at his store in Sammamish. So I'm like, if you're going that direction on Saturday around lunchtime,
we're headed towards Liberty, in between Wenatchee and Ellensburg.
Oh, okay, right on. So that's just kind of north of you guys.
Yeah, it's about an hour and 10 minutes north. Not even.
Bill Reynolds is in the house, Vietnam vet. Thanks for being here, Bill. I appreciate you, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks for your service.
Yes, absolutely.
Late to the party. Woohoo! Distillarium rocks. Good to see the nicest people getting some due.
Hey,
nice.
Thanks.
Hey, good to see you, Mark. Good. Glad you're here. I feel that. I concur on the stickers. Yep, the kind of tedious, fine motor skills things.
Yeah. Well, it's just the repetitive
The monotony.
Some little task, you know.
Well,
It's like
it's worse when you have someone telling you all these crazy stories and distracting you, and you forget what number you're on, and have to go pick them all up. And
the stickers aren't as bad as writing the batch and the bottle number on
Yeah.
1,000 bottles and pretending like you got them all in sequence or
hey,
hoping.
I do a damn good job.
Big Vic's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. I spent a good portion of today. Right on.
Do you wish that you were putting on stickers?
I doubt it. Super doubt it. Cute. Yeah, I'm a few minutes behind on chat. We were having a good conversations there. Spicy pure moonshine. I am going to leave the link up, and we got through all the people in the backstage. If there's anybody else that's currently watching us live that want a chance to join the raffle, your odds are pretty good right now to win some samples, because I'm going to give away 2 flights. And so out of the handful of people that came on and asked questions, if I'm giving away 2 of them, you've got good odds to win one. So I'm going to give you guys probably 8 more minutes to join us live here and ask a question before I shut that down and do the raffle and get on to the winners. Oh, wait, I didn't read that. How long has he lived in the Northwest then, if his accent isn't as noticeable?
Oh gosh, your family.
10 years now, or let's see, I'm 32. I left when I was 21, so 10 or 11 years.
Yeah, a good decade is a good time to start watering down an accent.
And I left at a impressionable. I was 21. You know, that's when your brain's still figuring stuff out. So unfortunately, I need to go down there, or I just got back from there, so it probably sounds a little better, but it'll taper off again. I need to spend more time listening to more country songs or something. Reprogram it. They say when I go home, they say, "Man, you sound like you're from the north." And boy, you white. You white as a ghost. That's what they say. They said, "Man, them legs are gonna blind me."
They are white.
Yeah. The Triticale is so good. So Lady Goat loves your stuff.
Awesome.
It's when Ryan dude, Ben, uncensored. I'm telling you. I'm gonna be drinking a weird rye. No. Don't forget the free shipping. Get it now. Yes. On Instagram, the link is in the chat. They just put up an ad today saying that if you buy 2 bottles, then you'll get those 2 bottles shipped together with free shipping, which is definitely the good. Rusty, are you waving? You want to come back on? What's up, man?
I wanted to ask any. So I'm looking on the site. Any plans in the future for some merch, like a T-shirt? The Distillarium, the patch. I think would
the
be
logo.
The
logo.
I can't think.
We sell some
Would be
merchandise
awesome.
out of our tasting room. We just actually redid our website and started with the shipping of the bottles, so we're not selling any of merch online right now, but
Okay.
definitely something I'm gonna be working on here soon.
Cool. I want a damn T-shirt.
Get a hold of us.
You know, that's a solid ass question, Rusty, because you guys can sell glassware etched with your name on it. You can sell keychains, stickers, T-shirts, hats, and it doesn't matter what state, but it doesn't matter what country either. There's not the shipping limitations that liquor has, and so the logistics is the part you have to worry about next, because then when you take the order, you have to have somebody there to fill that order, and so but I would imagine it be worth the effort.
So literally, you guys are the first out of anybody that I've looked at about shipping to Alabama. Shipping to Alabama is very, very hard. Is that a process to get into that? Because I mean, seal box, nobody ships to Alabama. Nobody. And I was ultra surprised when you said you shipped out, and I just ordered a bottle. I was like, I gotta have one.
Yeah, we were surprised too, but
oh my goodness!
Thanks for the support.
And thank you.
But that's awesome. I was surprised when I heard it myself. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you sure? Are they just doing it? Like, but
Well,
Right,
it's all
yeah.
3-tier compliant, so it's not coming from us. It's coming from a
Right,
retailer in
right.
Texas, you know, that
But
we ship down to. But still, the fact that they've been able to maneuver that whole process is pretty impressive, and yeah, we're really excited about it.
heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good call, Rusty. Thanks, buddy. If you want to hang out in the backstage, because
Yeah.
we're gonna cut off the live after the raffle, so you can hang out and BS with us for a few minutes.
Yep, yep.
So Whiskey Edition agreed on stickers. Ben from the North is asking about Glencairns. Lady Goat said that she would love a T-shirt.
Time for me to go.
Mark, you own 6 bottles. A coincidence, fellow Mark. I own 6 bottles. I have the 3 cask strength variants, that the bourbon, the rye, and the Triticale. I have a little bit left of my Triticale here. It's getting down to its last legs, and I've got the bourbon I was sipping on earlier. And Uncle Trey jumped on earlier and asked about the brandy. So don't tell him that I already picked up the 5-year. It's the
Awesome.
5-year edition, and I'm gonna bring it next time I go down and hang out with them, because they do a podcast down like 30 minutes from my house. They do a podcast. Sometimes I go down there and get featured on their things together with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna bring this with me next time I go down there.
Very cool.
Don't tell them. No spoilers.
Yeah.
absolutely. Hey, that Triticale that you just showed, the new Triticale, the Cask and Spin, and that one, they're actually the same mash bill. The difference in them is obviously the proof, and then the way that I handled them and chill filtered one of them. The new Cask and Spin is not chill filtered, and so it's interesting to see the major difference that you're getting there. The rye, same story, because they're majorly different. At least I know for a fact the ryes are majorly different. I want to know what you think of the Triticales, but it's just the only difference is the chill filtration and the proof, and it made a major taste difference.
Yeah.
Back up. What did you say the difference in the chill filtration between? See, this is the cask strength, and this is the standard. What is it?
The standard has been chill filtered for consistency, for no haze, so that it will always be the same exact thing. And
84 proof too.
84 proof, and then
80, this one's 88.
88 proof. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That must be the 2-year then.
That must be the 2-year. Okay.
Yeah, we switched it
well,
up.
so we've got a 3-year that's 84 proof, but that's same thing. Same mash bill, different proof. That was also chill filtered, and it's just this new line, the Cask and Spin. We wanted it to be as real as it could be, authentic as it could be. So after a year or two of sitting in the sun, you might get a haze or whatever, but it's a major taste difference that we saw, and we were kind of blown away about it.
So I just had 2 sips of the 88 proof 2-year standard one. I haven't gotten a newer bottle of the 3-year 84, but this is the cask strength one. That's substantially better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste stronger. At least I know the rye doesn't. The rye tastes almost weaker than its weaker counterpart.
The rye had a great balance to it, and it was great across the palate. I was really surprised with how much I like it, because I greatly prefer bourbon over rye. The Triticale has more variants. It has more layers and different things going on. It's more complex than the rye was, which I wasn't
like
expecting.
Rye in disguise, or it's like, it's not rye in disguise, but I don't know the way I can't describe the Triticale. It's just new and novel, and you can say about it whatever your opinion is, because everyone's is different.
I didn't get invited into the backstage. Dude, you were in the backstage and you left it. So William Hall and everybody else in the club, if you want to come hang out in the backstage, uncut, unfiltered, offline, off air, then jump in the backstage. Ben, are you here for the backstage or are you here to come on? Give me a thumbs up if you want to come on while we're still live. Thumbs down if you want to stay for the backstage. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is Whiskey Uncensored, Bourbon.
How's it going?
Hey.
First of all, I apologize for all the comments, but I'm an ass.
Good laugh.
Good laugh, you know.
But what do you call it? Two real questions. One is, are you doing all 53-gallon barrels? Are you doing any small barrels?
We did small barrels in the very beginning just to diversify our portfolio. We did about 25 of them, and they were evaporating so quickly that I just pulled the plug on them and dumped them into the 53s and forgot about them. There's still about 10 of them around here, but I guarantee you if I were to go look at them right now, they're probably half of them would be bone dry. And so it was just, Yakima has like zero humidity until the wintertime and the springtime. And it still, our Angel's share is astronomical. Our 53s, when we crack them open after 4 years, they're down to like 40 gallons. But the proof has gone up to 137. I've even seen 141 on
Nice.
a barrel that we filled at 125.
So when are you putting that single barrel hazmat on the site?
Yeah. If we did, I'd only release 500 bottles of it because it is such a niche thing. I don't know who would want 141 proof whiskey. Everybody on the chat. I know
everybody here right now. Like I told you, this show is for whiskey enthusiasts. So everybody watching us now is like, that sounds delicious.
We don't serve
The highest proof whiskey I have here, the highest proof, well, technically it's wheat whiskey I have is 161 proof, I believe, right now.
So that's interesting. I was going to ask you guys being whiskey collectors, what is some of the higher whiskeys that you can get?
I mean, I have this in reach right now. This is 173.7, 147 proof.
Interesting. And so that would be high on the scale. I'd have to look.
Well, that's that one's light whiskey. That's light whiskey. Yeah. So that came off the still at 160 plus, you know.
Okay. And
This is 156.4.
Attaboy.
Are these made in America?
These ones are not.
Okay. I'd be interested in the
ones.
ones.
You know how we've been talking about the gentleman who's having the raffle in Sammamish this weekend?
Yes.
Here's one of his picks of Elijah Craig. Sorry, it's just under. It's 139.3. And as you can see, I hate this bottle.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
So we were all about the proof here.
All right,
you can't scare us.
We'll have to do some kind of super.
Maybe that would be the Northwest first pick.
Yeah.
If I've got a crew of people in this area that would love to do a barrel pick all together.
What's the yield like on one of those?
Most of the distilleries we've talked to, they want too much money. And I'm dude,
we might be right in your price range. Who knows?
Yeah.
And,
I'm like,
and have the right yield.
You got a bunch of social media channels that have a strong, loyal following that want to grab one of your single barrels and help you sell it, and you're gonna give us like friction. Then we're out.
No, come at us. We've already done a few barrel picks for a few different places. So, I mean, if we're too high, they probably would have told us no.
Okay.
So one other question. I know you ship, but any East Coast distribution?
No East Coast distribution as of yet, but we can ship, like you said.
Mm-hmm. I was checking it out.
Someday.
All right, Bourbon, I'm going to throw you back in the back. We are overdue for the... Thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you. Bourbon, he's such a great supporter of the channel, and
what a cool name.
He says a lot of nice things. Even though he is uncensored, he is truly a great friend. I like him a lot. But don't tell him that.
You're welcome to send any new friends my way.
Yes.
Ordering a bottle, great live. David, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So I don't doubt mail order whiskey in Alabama being difficult. Yep. Don't forget the rye spicy pear moonshine. I have not tried any of your moonshines.
Well, it's because you can only get them in the tasting room, so you can't
that
order
makes
them online right now. But that was kind of like one of our more fun mistakes, mad scientist experiments of Austin's that turned out
Is the
wicked.
Triticale locally sourced? I know there is some grown around the Columbia Basin. P&W Bryce. Hey, thanks for asking a great question. I know the softball answer is that if you are going to be a craft whiskey distillery, 51% of your grains have to be from here in Washington State. Can you guys add anything more to that?
Absolutely. I mean, we take pride in all of our grains being, locally sourced, our grapes for our brandy as well. I think it's a big part of it really being craft and all coming full circle. We get our grains from local farmers, bring them in, mill them, distill on them, and then it's really cool that like the spent grain can go back to them and really comes full circle. So yes, the Triticale is locally sourced. And you can touch more on where that's
an hour away from us. Shout out to James Wall, MJW Grain, and Curtis Hannings, our farmers. We love them. We know them. We party with them. Hell yeah.
Yep, couldn't do it without you
Dude,
guys.
that is the way to do that. Have those close relationships. Sunshine from Cleon, good to see you. Great person, great human. Just love you. William Hall, he's back. All right, he's back in the backstage. Spicy and smooth and delicious is how I would describe it.
Barrel entry proof is 116.
Fair.
No, we proof it down a little bit. But it's cask strength, not barrel proof.
All right, so is anybody in the backstage right now wanting to get on to ask a question, to get on this reel? Because we are 5 minutes past when I said we were going to do the spin. So if you're just waiting to join the backstage, just chill. But if you want to get on and ask a question, give me a hand. B. Bauer's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, y'all.
Good evening.
How you doing, my friend?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. I was gonna ask about hazmat or higher proof, but are you going with any like wheat mash bills or wheat forward mash bills? Or are you just sticking to the 3 that you have?
That's a question that keeps rearing its head. And at the time when we got started, I couldn't get the wheat that I wanted to distill. I could get a wheat that was good for growing grass or your front yard or something, and it didn't have the right protein, falling numbers, all of that. And so I just and we mentioned the 51% Washington grain thing. I just didn't get wheat. I settled for not being able to find it. We were moving along, and I chose the grains that I could find. Looking back, I wish I had a wheated bourbon right now. I wish I had a whole wheat whiskey right now, but I don't. And
Triticale softens up that rye.
the Triticale is the closest thing I got.
It takes care of that a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So 7 years, is that your highest age statement so far?
Probably 6 years would be our highest age statement right now.
All right. I go to Longhorn, so I'm gonna look for y'all.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Right on. All right, hey, B. Bauer, hang out in the backstage if you want to hang out and have some uncut, unfiltered conversation after we drop the live. But I appreciate you coming on and asking about if they have plans on doing a wheat whiskey. And because I'm a big wheater fan, so
yeah, I love wheaters, man. They balance out nice. The Triticale, that I like those, so they're good.
Yep. Triticale is good.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Real quick, I see a question where it says, scroll up a little bit, Ash. It says entry proof. Is it 116 by Whiskey Uncensored? Our 116 proof is a cask strength, and cask strength is a little misleading. It lets you actually modify the proof. Barrel strength, we would have to reflect the exact proof we pulled it out of. With cask strength, we're allowed to knock it down a little bit, and that's what we wanted to do. It's our entry proof.
Our entry proof is 125.
Or yeah, not our entry proof. It's our bottle entry proof. But yeah, our barrel entry proof. Go ahead.
I'm not seeing that question. Tater Dom is here. Good to see you. Chris Tats from Australia. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad that you're here. Whiskey Wanderberg, you are late as heck to the party, Michelle. It's good to see you though. I'm glad you're here. If you want to jump on and ask a question, you are one of the only people that I would allow a pass. But you were talking about, is it this barrel entry proof?
Yeah. So our barrel entry proof is 125, but since we're doing cask strength on this, it's kind of a little looser terminology. It gives us a little more wiggle room to not put out the hazmat right away. We were kind of trying to work our way up to that.
Okay, gotcha. So hold on, Michelle and Marvin. If you guys are just wanting to hang out in the backstage after the raffle, just chill out, do what you're doing. But if you want to jump on and ask a question, throw hand signals like you're at an airport. Damn it, Marvin. What's up, buddy?
All right. I missed, honestly, probably 80% of the Q&As because my kids...
Okay.
My kids didn't go to bed on time, and I'm cooking spaghetti. This may have been asked earlier, but I'm curious. What's your production capacity? Was that asked earlier already? How many barrels do you guys do a day, a month, a year?
So, I mean, how many barrels would you say we were filling a day when we were full scale producing?
Probably two a week. Was it 2 a week or more?
More than that. Well, I guess we can put it this way. We for 4 years before we opened, we managed to put away about 700 barrels. So do the math, I guess.
Oh, 7 is Mark. Break out your toes.
We weren't filling them up right away either.
I think we did like a barrel every 2 days or something like that. Maybe a barrel a day. Shy of a barrel a day, like 35 gallons a day. And we make a lot more than that, but that's after everything's cut, said, and you've cut the hearts out. You're still gonna collect the tails and run those the next day. Once you're all caught up like that, I think we were producing about 45 gallons a day, which was just shy of filling up a barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys
a lot of distilleries I've talked to before, they do they'll tell me their barrels per week, but if you're tracking it's like 45 gallons a day, then that's pretty cool. That's a lot more than 2 barrels a week. But
yeah. I think that we were probably doing 4 barrels a week.
Okay.
Yeah, filling some rack.
Is there a bottle or a barrel that you've set aside that's just for you?
A cherry.
That you hope to just cherish, or does everything go out for sale?
We have a few barrels that are.
There's more than one barrel that's special. There's a few back there that, for one reason or another, I've deemed them interesting for future review. They don't fit into any of our programs right now, and they got made because I was being creative and coming up with new things, and then quickly moved on from it, didn't make any more of it, and now it just exists all by itself. And that's probably 4 or 5 different barrels, full-size barrels.
And for research purposes, you go every now and then and taste those yummy goodnesses.
Absolutely. I've got a little drill. I drill a hole in them, collect the sample, and then throw a cedar spile back in the hole and make it look like it never happened.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I'm north of Marc. I haven't actually made my way over to Yakima.
You're not north of me, you're east of me.
I'm northeast of you.
No, you're like straight east.
All right. Well, either way, I'm sideways from you, Marc. But yeah, I haven't made it to that side of the state in a long time, but I know that's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here when you get here. We'd love to give you a tour, and we'll take good care of you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Marvin, I appreciate you. I know it's late for you, but it sounded like you were staying up late with the kids anyway.
Yeah,
I put you on the wheel, and if you want to hang out for a little bit, and
Sure.
Join us in the backstage. I'm going to do the raffle and the giveaway. Then we're going to cut out the live here in just a few.
Oh, shout outs. It's Michelle's birthday this weekend.
Oh, yep.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yep. Michelle, a.k.a. Whiskey Wanderberg, is having a birthday party this weekend that is going to be following Bourbon Baller Lee's raffle. And it's going to be good times.
Awesome.
All right, so Marvin, throwing you in the back room. And I am going to bring up the wheel of names, and so we can get on to this raffle, because there's going to be 2 lucky winners. That are going to win an all expenses paid, faux free flight of the Distillarium brand new 3 products that just came out. There's the bourbon, the rye, the Triticale, 16 proof, all 3 of them. I'm giving you 2 flights of them, and the first one is going to go to ZMan. Awesome. I already have your contact info, ZMan. I will have a very trusted individual hand deliver those to you over in where you're at. And the second flight is going to go to Bourbon. Perfect.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. I am so happy that both of those flights are going to people that don't already live here in the state. And so their, chances of already running into you guys are already that much smaller, because I think Z-Man's in Arizona, Bourbon's in New York, and I'll be sending those to them by hand delivery by a trusted friend.
Right on.
And so before I jump into my reserve questions, before we end the live stream, is there anything that you wanted to make sure that you put out or that you promote, or anything you wanted to say from your guys' distiller's perspective?
Well, if you haven't tried it, get online and buy a couple bottles, free shipping on 2 or more, and keep an eye on us. We're always coming up with something new and exciting, and can't wait to share it with you.
Absolutely. I love giving the tours and showing off what we do, all the stuff you see behind us, and it's much more fun. Boots on the ground, walking around and pointing and taking pictures if you want to, and all that fun stuff. And we can talk for as long as you like. So if you do come through, make sure you book a tour with me.
Right on. Well said. So for the last pour of the night, I'm moving finally to the bourbon. As you guys saw in the advertisement, I did pop the bourbon yesterday to make the commercial or advertisement, whatever. And so I had a little sip last night. This is the only one of the 3 that I tried before tonight. But I did not, of course, try the other one. So I'm going to try those ones side by side of the other 2, and I'm going to let you guys know which one I prefer. Is it the bourbon, the Triticale, or the rye? Because if you are not in the position to buy all 3 bottles, then I'm going to give you my amateur opinion of, if I was going to buy just one, which one would I buy? So I'm going to raise the glass to the bourbon to you guys. Cheers. Thanks for coming on the show once again. Oh, man. A lot of dark notes, dark caramel. There's leather, there's tobacco, there's espresso, there's chocolate. The bourbon is way darker than the other 2. I'll revisit the other 2 just for fun, but so Triticale. It's more complex. There's a lot going on in the mouth. The rye. Ooh, after trying the other two, the rye is more poppy. There's more things going on. When I tried it at first, I was surprised with how smooth and balanced it was. After trying the other two, it does give some brightness and some complexity that I didn't experience the first time coming through it. But I would say, without a doubt, I prefer the bourbon for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Teach their own.
What? That is the most handsome man.
Wow. You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Whatever Mark's opinion, I'm buying all three on Saturday. TroyMan, I love you, dude.
Hell yeah, TroyMan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Freaking awesome. Whiskey Wanderberg, happy birthday. Absolutely. I went to the tasting room last summer. I really enjoy your whiskey.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
If you guys don't know, Michelle is a very, very big deal. She's got like 20,000 followers on Instagram. It's not fair. Yes, it is rigged. Yes, absolutely. RBN. My liver can't handle a barrel per day. That's not what.
Who's can?
Oh my goodness. New sub here. Cheers from Seattle. Hey, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Sure.
We are here every week. We love to promote local craft distilleries, and being a combat veteran myself, I do a lot to promote veteran-owned whiskeys, which there are a lot out there that people don't know about. And so, first Saturday of the month, every month, I do a veterans live stream where I have a different veterans whiskey of the month. And if you guys aren't already tracking that and checking that out, first Saturday of the month, then come join. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. Is there anything else that I missed? I liked Triticale. Yes, I do too. It's good. He's biased. I'm biased on a lot of things. Bless up, Tats. Yep. Chris and Lil Tats, great people. Super great. Triticale for me. Dude, there's a lot of Triticale fans here. Do you guys know of any other people making Triticale besides Dry Fly?
Specifically, I do not. But
Gosh, I
many
heard
people
from
name
somebody
drops.
today that there's 5 distilleries in
Yeah,
Texas
yeah.
doing it. So
5?
Yeah.
But I mean, that could have just been talk. But we were talking with somebody today, and they said that there's 5 Texas distilleries doing it. 5 different Triticales in Texas.
Wow.
So that's news to me. I'll have to track them down and figure out which ones. I knew there was one somewhere in the middle of the country, but gosh, I couldn't tell you besides Dry Fly. And there's plenty of breweries using it to make beer.
Right. Dude, that's crazy. I did not know that. I've only had a Dry Fly pick. Phenomenal. Yeah, dude, the Dry Fly picks vary greatly, because I have one that was really good, and the more air it got, the more open it got, the worse it got. It was really weird. And another one I got, oh man, I wouldn't do it. And then I found out that it wasn't even their distillate. They sourced that barrel pick, which made no sense to me. Dry Fly's got a lot of weird stuff going on.
In the beginning, they set the standard, and I took a lot of inspiration from them, even on the Triticale. Yeah. I don't know what's gone down in years to follow. I couldn't tell you.
Japanese. Okay, so my burn questions here.
All right.
Last time I had you on, you told me that your rye farmer that you get your rye from was going to be leaving soon, and that you were looking for a new source for your rye. I'm assuming you found one.
Well,
right?
actually, I have. I've got a guy that's also distilling that's going to lend me some rye, do me a solid, and keep my rye going, at least for this year, come harvest. But other than that, I don't know if it's a futuristic thing going forward. I just know I'm sewn up for this year.
We have quite a bit, but
okay,
we're still looking.
I actually still have some rye from last year, so we've still got rye stockpiled. But yeah,
okay. So I already talked to Ashley while you were gone about the horse story and the horse on the bottle and that whole thing. I've gotten some compliments about the presentation value when I posted your pictures. They're eye-catching. They're beautiful labels. and you said let's talk about those label designs later.
Who designed those labels?
Go ahead.
Oh, that was me. Well, I mean, it's a beautiful horse to work with, you know. I mean, it's pretty easy when you have a cool horse to work with. So
that's
really,
the bourbon.
what kind of happened with it started with the No Man's Whiskey, and being a reining horse, there are 3 specific moves that they do, which would be the, you know, sliding stop, the spin, and the circle. And so I kind of played off of the reining horse theme with the other 2, the cask and spin and the cask and slide, being reining horse moves. So it was really fun just to carry the theme throughout, and just a fun new kind of project and you know, kind of angle to work with. So still threw in the metallic elements too, you know, keep it true Distillarium style.
Yeah. Okay. So another one of my questions. We said that we were going to get back to the finishes. Now we talked a little bit about how with your brandy and your whiskey, you did a swap 1 for 1. Was there anything more that you wanted to add to different finishes you're experimenting with? Any Armagnac or cognacs or anything else regarding finishes?
So, I mean, we kind of talked about it. We actually do have 4, which isn't much, Armagnac cognac barrels that had started at like Wild Turkey. One of them says Wild Turkey on it. I don't think the other 3 say Heaven Hill. And they're the oldest, ugliest, rustiest, brownest barrels that you've ever seen. And we bought a ton of barrels from France, and the broker said, hey, let me send you these 4 barrels. It's what the cognac makers use, and it's what they're trying to get. See if you like them. We got 100 of them. And they showed up. They're the ugliest. We just bought brand new French oak wrapped in plastic, and like 50 of them. They showed up with these 4 rusty, ugly barrels. But the more I've tested them, apparently that's how you make good brandy, is with the oldest, mustiest barrel you can get your hands on, because they yield the most floral, delicate, not as brown brandy than all of our other barrels. However, I've only got 4 of them, so we'll see. And I could be wrong. It may not be delicate and better than all of them, but it's definitely, like she said, the perfect 4 for a lighter, small release on our brandy. And other than that, we've got, a plethora of different oak, and we're trying everything out.
I would say keep an eye out for a French oak finished bourbon.
Yeah, for sure.
I generally, 80% of the time, I really enjoy a French oaked, either aged or finished. When it comes to just a double barrel, finishing it in a second barrel usually hits a sweet spot for me that I really enjoy. Yep. If you age it for your 4 years, then age it for another 6 months or a year in a toasted barrel. You get a lot of s'mores notes, like graham crackers.
You're 100%. And it took away what I was missing without doing, I was a little sad I didn't do a wheated bourbon. Doing that French finish almost gave it what I was missing out on the wheated. It softened it out. And I swear, going in, I did not have high hopes. I was not optimistic. I couldn't imagine that 6 months in a French barrel was going to really do anything, because I would have assumed that the whiskey barrel was already there and bold enough. But I was wrong. It gave it a sweet, s'moresy complex that I had to eat crow on that one.
Yeah. Oh, it does. It does. It's good stuff. So, there's another finish that I would advise to anybody who makes whiskey. Grab a hold of some good, organic, good maple syrup. Pour out your whiskey out of your barrel, age that maple syrup in your barrel for a little while, and have some good, like, flavorful barrel-aged maple syrup. But then pour that whiskey back into that barrel for a few months, and having that, like, all-natural maple flavor. But if you release it at cask strength, some of the best whiskey I've ever had.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I've actually already thought about that, and I priced a couple 5-gallon pails of maple syrup just for a personal project, and then I backed out when I saw the price of the 5-gallon pail. But hey, it wasn't too out of this world. I just maybe it wasn't the right time to be looking at it.
Okay. That makes total sense.
No, I think
we already asked about your bottles.
Experiment.
We asked about your finishes, your label designs, your barrel count, like per week, the horse story, rice flash. So the only other thing that I was going to ask about is your current staff, because compared to 2 years ago, like how many people do you guys have working there now? Like, what's your staff looking like?
Well, it's us in here. We have an amazing tasting room staff. They make some of the best food, and the cocktails are to die for. They do an amazing job over there. Could not do this without them. But right now, as far as the distillery goes and all of the other fun stuff that goes into that, that's yours truly. And of course, we've got Boss Man in Texas selling it and doing a damn good job of that. So couldn't do it without Kenny Miller.
TroyMan asked, what French barrels did you get?
So what we have Seagan Moreau, right? And
we have Seagan Monroe, the
yeah.
Tonarellis, the Frank's family. Yeah, I can't remember any of the other ones, but that's what I remember.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yep.
I hear you on that.
It's talking dirty. Yes, please. I did. He told me. I actually clicked that one. Maple experiment. Yeah, that's what they were just talking about. All right, guys. So we are going to shut down the live stream so we can spend a few minutes talking to Ashley and Austin backstage, uncut, unfiltered, before we let them go, because they're still at the distillery, and I want to get them home sometime tonight. So I'm not going to drag this on much further. So I asked all my burn questions. We had great questions from the audience tonight. Greatly appreciate all you guys that are here watching us live. Ashley, Austin, do you have any thing to send off with or anything like that? I'm gonna solo you for just a second. There you go.
Find yourself in Yakima. Make sure you come say hi to us. We'd love to show you around. And thank you for all the suggestions and ideas. We definitely got my brain turning on some fun stuff here that we can try out. So
thanks for the support, and definitely come out and check us out and book a tour with me.
Awesome. Good stuff. All you guys out there. Thank you for being here. Go to the website. It's already in the video description, as you guys already know. You guys are great. Want to try those great? Yep, absolutely. You guys have great hearts, and you guys are in it. The love story and the whiskey. Super awesome. Greatly appreciate you guys coming on the show. Appreciate all you guys that watched and participated. The winners of the flights, you're going to be looking forward to getting a flight from me of the 3 brand new Cask strength 116 proof samples that I'm going to be sending to you. But until next time, make sure you're drinking more water than whiskey. Make sure you're looking out for those people within your sphere of influence, and make sure you're a good influence on them. Keep training, keep trying. If any of you guys want to jump in the back room and join us for a second, we are here for you. But until next time, we will see you guys later. Good night.
Good night.
Cheers.